Are contests won from behind, from the back, from the rear? Yes and no. Okay? If you look through history of, particularly in the last 20 years, 25 years, whatever, longer, 30 something years, the best back in the sport has been Mr. Olympia. You know, and that started with even Samir Banu, when he won in '83, had the best back in bodybuilding at the time. Then you went to Lee Haney, clearly the best back. Then you went to Dorian, clearly the best back. Then Ronnie just knocked it out of the park. It was a whole different ballgame. Even today, you know, people might disagree, but if you look at Phil Heath's rear double bicep, it's untouchable because of the thickness and the nooks and crannies and the detail. And so yes, and even more so today, now everything plays a role. Now you're talking not only the rear delts, the traps, the lats, the lower back, but now we're talking the glutes, the hamstrings, the detail. You know, if you don't have striated glutes, you might as well not show up. And that wasn't the case back in Lee Haney's day or Arnold's day. But yeah, there are. That's why I will say yes. But there are also cases where, you know, I myself have been involved, and I think I won clearly from behind and didn't win the show. Because you turn around and you're like, oh, Jose's a little blocky from the front. So there's going to be always, you know, each situation is different. But when you're talking Mr. Olympia, pretty much, you know, you can't really argue it. Like I just said, for the last 30 years, the best Mr. O, the winners have all looked the best from behind of that lineup. So yes. But there's always going to be an exception to the rule where you might have a guy who just looks unreal from behind, and then from the front it's not quite the same, and he might lose by a point or two to someone who's just overall better. You know, for the most part, the show should be judged on every pose, on every angle. But chances are, if someone's that outstanding from behind, he's going to win enough poses on top of that to win the show. You know, he's not going to be so superior from behind and then have a terrible side chest or a terrible front lat spread. You can have one or two bad poses, but if you win the rest with a slam dunk, you're going to win. But another great question, and if I had to say yes or no, I would say yes. Shows are won from behind.
Alright, this is the Boston Mass. Thanks again for watching. Now, if you're not subscribing, subscribe now. Tell all your friends to subscribe. If you haven't, do it now. Alright?